Hi, it's Maria Rothenberger with your Fertility Friday Compassion Series quote. 52 weeks, 52 quotes for the year 2020 of living with more compassion. And if you want to know why I'm doing this series, go back to week 1 and basically you'll learn that I wasn't being very nice to myself. So I decided to be kinder to myself and pay it forward with everyone else. I'm using this book, which is, of course, a year of living with more compassion. And it's got 52 quotes in there that I'm going through every week. This week, incidentally, as I was just now mentioning that I wasn't being very kind to myself, this quote is about being kind to oneself. And actually the quote says, "I never beat myself up gently." This is a quote, an anonymous quote chosen by Paul Gilbert, PhD, who had a patient that said this. And it's true. I often ask people to imagine someone walking alongside them throughout the day saying all the things that they say to themselves. Like, what the frig? Why are you doing that? Why'd you do that? How come that happened? Oh my God, can you believe your hair today? Like, what are you wearing? This is crazy. I mean, I want to punch them in the face. I don't know about you. Other people might want to slink down. But the point is, we rarely beat ourselves up gently, right? So the quote here, the highlight here, each quote has a page that sort of riffs on the quote. The highlight here is, if you practice every day, hearing your own voice in your head, as you do when you think, textured with understanding, kindness, and support, this will help you in your times of difficulty. And I like this because the practice for this week is really noticing the difference. It's not necessarily about changing things immediately like a New Year's resolution would be. This is more of like a long-term goal of being more kind to yourself. So the first thing is to notice the difference, right? So the practice is to sit quietly in a chair and for about 15 or 30 seconds have a facial expression that's kind of harsh towards yourself, like or whatever yours might look like, okay? So you're gonna hold that for 15 to 30 seconds and then switch over to a facial expression that's replete with kindness and compassion towards yourself or maybe even other people. So just a sweet, genuine loveliness and gratitude and thoughtful feelings towards somebody else. So you can see how your expression might change. And you'll kind of notice the muscle changes that happen in your face. And then the idea is that moving forward, you'll be able to notice first what your face is doing and then go, oh, I think I might be harshly judging myself. I think I might be beating myself up not so gently. And then of course, you'll be able to change that. So the exercise is to sit with those facial changes, kind of note the muscle differences. And then in a welcoming tone, practice different kinds of voices. So you're changing your facial expressions first, and then you're practicing using different voices. Like, oh my gosh, how could you do that? As opposed to, ooh, that wasn't such a wise choice, huh? All right, let's give it another shot, So there's a different vocal tone in that, and we know, we can say, oh, the sky is blue, or ew, the sky is blue, and just like the tone is quite different. So the practice for this week is first, practice your facial expressions, practice a not so gentle facial expression, and then a quite gentle and compassionate facial expression towards yourself, and then practice your tones, your tone of voice, saying something not so kind to yourself, and then saying something kind to yourself. Go to it. I hope you have a great week this week practicing more mindful self-compassion. And if you want more content like this, you can head on over to my blog at drmariarothenberger.com, fertility-blog. And I also have a podcast you can listen to and a book that's coming out, hopefully spring 2020, called Transcending Infertility, which you can get at transcendinginfertilitybook.com. Thanks. See you next week.